Hey guys, so it's 2 days after Christmas, and I sort of disconnected from the business for like 48 hours. And it wasn't super long. I didn't go like on vacation, but when you're working nonstop with onboarding new clients or fulfilling for your current clients and writing scripts, and you're really like in the trenches learning about the industry, like 10 hours a week and you're iterating 6 days a week, and like I don't want to sound like I'm complaining because it's not a crazy amount of work, because my wife and I do it together and we're really good at picking up where the other person left off. But it's more like when you do something every day, you don't really stop and think about the big picture. Like you don't really think about the industry as a whole. And what happened, like while I was traveling for Christmas, I saw two tweets that really encapsulated for me success and failure with cold email. And they really show what most startup founders and CEOs of growing companies really get wrong when it comes to outreach. And the reason I think this is so important is because it's not a technical issue. It's not like, you should use Maility instead of Instantly or Quick Mail, or is Ocean worth buying, or Apollo or Seamless or anything. It's not a software issue. It's completely a mindset issue, which makes it super dangerous because if you haven't been taught differently, you're listening to the experts. There's a 100% chance you're doing this. And I did this. So the first post was shared by one of my mentors, Christian. And the crazy thing about Christian is that we actually have the same watch. I know because he posted it on his 23rd birthday. I have the mint version. It's Tissot PRX. And I realized that my mentor with regards to cold email scripts is 23 years old. And if that sounds crazy to you, you're right. I've had a 7-figure business. I've closed medium 8 figures in sales, and I've had a long and successful career. Why would I work with a 23-year-old and really try to learn from him to improve? And the answer is that most of my life, when I was doing outreach, I was doing it completely wrong. But I didn't think that I was doing it wrong because I thought that that was the ethical way to do it. And I left millions on the table because even as a small business owner, I was listening to experts that had a very corporate mindset. They didn't have this mindset of individually expressing yourself. And it really takes young people to break through that paradigm, because you want someone who's completely focused on results. Like the answer is almost never to listen to the corporate guy who works for a large company. It's to listen to the 20-something college dropout who makes 6 figures a month and works in a hoodie, because they definitely didn't get there by using their network at Stanford or their MBA. So anyway, so Christian or Daniel or someone else in my network shared this viral video from a woman who basically looks like your 3rd grade teacher. I'm not going to share the video because I'm not making it to like dunk on her or single her out. Plus her voice is like kind of annoying, and you can tell that she's kind of leaning into that to try and go viral. You see a lot of people trying to turn themselves into like human Geico commercials. So you remember them. So I won't share the video, but I'll just tell you what she says. She says, I'm an email marketing expert. Everyone asks me, how do I get my emails out of promotions and into the primary inbox? And there's a simple answer: you don't. And the implication is like, it's morally wrong to do all of these things, like using multiple domains or using AI to generate first lines, or to do a bunch of tricks in Gmail to increase your deliverability, to make them think like you're a real person. And the point that she's making is you should just be honest. You should just have a really great campaign and let the words speak for themselves. And I actually lost a potential client recently. And it was because they spent almost $100,000 on email consultants who told him the industry average open rate, or people seeing your emails, is like 12%. And we can get you to double that. And actually, for a while, none of his emails were being opened because there was a problem with the whole company's sending practices. But eventually they got into the low 20% with open rates. I told him that our open rates are usually 75 to 85% on any given week. And I shared my information with him, my flows, took a screenshot, but he just couldn't believe it. And he thought we were doing something morally wrong. Like we set up multiple domains. It's wrong to do that because that's what a company in China does to spam people. And I could tell he wanted to work with us, but working with us was like leaving the matrix. It was like everything he'd been doing, advising his clients to do, because he sells integration software, was simply wrong and not effective. He would be at least tripling his results, but at the end of the day, it was just too much for him and too much for the company to say, hey, we've been wrong about this for a really long time. And at the same time, I saw a tweet by Sam Parr, who founded The Hustle. He sold it for a huge exit. And he basically shared his first successful cold email that led to about $100,000 of ads for The Hustle, which is an online magazine. And I'm just going to read the email to you because I literally wrote it down word for word because it sounds really, really similar to an email that I would write. So he writes, "Hey Chris, what's up? I've been using Wealthfront for a year now and I love it. The chart that says how much money your company will be worth, or how much your money will be worth by the time I'm 80, is amazing. Here's the situation. The company I work for, The Hustle, has some available ad inventory for our newsletter. I'm almost positive our demo is right in line with Wealthfront's young, high energy, early tech adopter, and I really like your product, so I wanted to see if you all would be interested in buying some of that ad space. We currently have 100,000 daily users. I think we could do a small experiment to try it out. Thoughts, Sam," in lowercase letters. "P.S. Sorry if this is out of the blue. Here's my LinkedIn in case that someone proves I'm not a spammer." So there's literally huge typos and mistakes in this email. And the guy responds and he's like, "Oh, you actually got the wrong Chris. But I think this is worth a shot. Like, tell me a little bit more about what you do." This is a perfect cold email. And the point that he's trying to make with this is be kind, get the sale, write the way that you speak. And this is what almost everybody gets wrong. They don't understand that you can do this at scale, so they don't even try. They end up hiring some bland corporate consultant, using a mass email tool because they think that's how it's supposed to be. And their emails go unread next to Pottery Barn, Lululemon, 1,000 other companies vying for their attention. And even if they see the email, it doesn't connect with them because there's no human being behind it. And what we do at Miraponte is we enable hyper personalization at scale. If you're reaching out to hundreds of people a week and your email is as direct and personal as Sam's, it's really difficult not to get results if you run the numbers. And that's what we do for our clients. And that's also why we work on a performance basis or revenue share basis. And our method doesn't work for founders or business owners who look at themselves as corporate or think it's wrong to do outreach and email a lot of people at scale. Our method is for people who are like, this is how I feel good about communicating. This is how I want to communicate. I just don't have 5 or 6 hours a day to research and write personal emails to other C-suite executives or founders or directors. I need help doing it at the scale where it leads to a consistent model of customer acquisition. And if you feel like this can help you, I'm including our landing page so you can find out more about us. So just go to mirapontemarketing.com. But if there's one thing to take away from this, it's that if you believe your company and you believe in your message, you should want to send that message in a direct, personal way that gets seen by the right person. And the answer is never this mass corporate approach. It's writing copy like you speak. It's double verifying and really carefully vetting the ideal customer profile and strategically getting their information, and it's maximizing your deliverability. And if you feel like it's worth exploring and see if we can help with that, we'd love to talk to you. And I'll, of course, be sharing more insights as we continue to grow and help clients. So happy holidays. This is Ori from Miraponte.